Welcome back to ECE 207. I'm entitling this short video Navigating the Course. I want you to be very comfortable with how we are pursuing this accelerated treatment of ECE 207, Elements of Electrical Engineering, because it is happening over a 5-week interval of time instead of maybe what you might see in a conventional 15-week semester. There's 3 immediate action items, and for those students that are in the 9-10 section, you have a 4th immediate action item. The first action item is for you to register into the course at the Mastering Engineering website, which is pearsonmastering.com. You will want to make sure that you use the appropriate course identification, which is, in this case, Mastering Engineering, or capital M-E, my last name, with the 5 digits 38161. That will get you into the course ECE 207 and the website that we are using to submit your homework. And that will then maybe look like when you go to that mastering website, you will want to sign in if you've already registered. If you're registering, you'll want to register as a student. Then you can come and sign in, and that then really corresponds to you, and I'm already signed in, so that doesn't give you the picture that you would look at. Once you've signed in, you will come into something that looks like this. Again, since I'm coming in as an instructor, this might look a little bit different, but you will see this course home with a calendar, and you can see that I've already submitted or created 3 different assignments. The first one is just to get you comfortable with mastering engineering. The next 2 are the ones that start counting towards your grade, which are homeworks 1 and 2. You can then look at the different assignments. Again, you may access these a little bit differently, but if you view the assignments, let's say that you look at the first one, which is problem 1.7. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do that, because now you're going to see the answers. If you want to move around without submitting any of your work, you can now click this up in the upper right hand corner, the next tab, and let me continue to click through, and maybe some of these I haven't yet submitted answers to, but on these you will now go in and type your answer, click the units, and in preparation of each unit you might read through these, and you can advance through those by simply clicking on the next. You don't want to hit continue unless you are completed with that, because it will then force you either to give up or to say that you are finished, and then you won't get any credit for those problems that you haven't actually worked. So the strategy then is to move back and forth using previous and next up in the near the top of the page, and that will allow you then to read through these if you are not yet wanting to work them, but you can then read through those in preparation for submitting your completed solution. In addition to these homeworks, you have access to the e-text, which in this case you can, if you link or click on that link, you will be greeted with Electrical Engineering Principles and Applications, the 6th edition by Hambly. And in our case, you'll want to then start in chapter 1. We will be working through really 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we will jump down to chapter 14 and then back to chapter 10, and that's the material that we will be covering in this class, ECE 207. In terms of navigating through this, and I will give you a little bit different video on how to read the textbook, but you can navigate fairly easily through this. You could look at it via 2 pages. You can, if you have this highlighted, which is showing the links, Whenever there is a link, it will take you to the appropriate location. Let's say that you wanted to go back to one of the earlier pages that we had, which was the beginning cover. Maybe we now wanted to, let's go back to looking at this in a more open, and let's say we were looking at the summary of chapter 1, and in the summary, depending on how they have done it, you might or might not see links present. I was hoping I would see some links in the previous textbook that I was just covering. There were links, but here, if you wanted to jump back and forth between some of these links, let's say figure 141 is now at the bottom of this page. Maybe we wanted to go to some other page, let's say page 40, and we forgot, or from this we might want to look at table 1.3. Now it takes us back to table 1.3. If we want to immediately jump back to the last page that we were just on, that's this last page visited, and it takes us now back to problem 152 that was referencing or linking to table 1.3. And that's a quick way to move back and forth in the e-text for this class. Again, I'm trying to give you a little bit of information on how to more quickly get started for this particular class. So item 1, which is an immediate action item, is registering for this particular course on Mastering Engineering. The second is to produce a passport, which you can access the passport from the D2L website for the class. The D2L website for the class, I hope you're comfortable with D2L. Here is the course home, but most of the information that you will be accessing is going to be on the content page. Here in the content page, it's organized by this table of contents, and you can look at the quick form of that on the left. It's expanded a little bit more on the right, but you can see that it's laid out in units. Each unit will have a homework assignment associated with it. Here on unit 0 is where you will find the passport assignment, and there is a short video discussing the passport assignment. You will complete that and put that final product in the passport assignment Dropbox, which you can access in this class. You will also be looking maybe at your grades occasionally, and this now shows you how the grade will be determined in the course. You'll have 12 homeworks corresponding to each of the 12 units, 4 exams that are occurring at the end of each of the 4 first weeks, and the final, which is on the last day of the class. But you can see, I hope, that each of these units is organized to have different notes and videos associated with them and a homework assignment at the bottom of each of these units. If we now go back, then that is the first assignment that you will turn in is the second of these action items. That's your passport. The third of the action items is homework number 1 assignment. Again, you'll access that from the Mastering website. And if you're in the 9-10 section of the course, you will need to secure a proctor, and you need to secure that proctor by Wednesday of this week so that I have someone to communicate with and transmit exams back and forth with. The course is then really consisting of 4 exams in the final with some homeworks distributed throughout. I've tried to lay that information out on a calendar. Here is the notation for that calendar. The green labels are the lectures, which if I said 3.2, that means it's Unit 3, Lecture 2. H3 is homework number 3, and E2 is exam number 2. You can see that the first 3 exams are going to occur on the first 3 Fridays. The fourth exam, because of the observance of Independence Day, will occur on Thursday, and that sets us up then for the final exam, which is the last day of the semester on July 9th. Taken as a whole, the homework assignments represent 15% of your grade. Again, those will be due on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of the week. The schedule, if it's not accessed through this calendar, you can also find a different structure of that on the content page, either under Course Business or in Unit 0. And you have several resources to use throughout the semester. The textbook, which I will try to produce another video on how to maybe read your textbook on D2L, the Mastering Engineering website, and then the course website, which is d2l.arizona. As I've said, it's separated into units. There's 12 units, and in each of those units, you may have at least one set of notes and videos that you will watch and self-annotate on those notes. A strategy that you could use is to first maybe look at the homework for each unit, read the appropriate textbook material, watch the videos for that unit, start and stop. You can even play them at a faster speed if you're wanting to get through the material a little bit quicker. You would then, as you're watching, maybe take notes on that material, create your own notes, work the homework for that unit. Then in preparation for the exams, you'll want to study the homework solutions that I will post after the homeworks are due at the end of those unit blocks on D2L. Then work the practice exams that are in their own little block on the content page, and then just repeat that process for all of the units. If you have questions, you can reach me by email, or you can physically find me on campus if you're in Section 1 at Harville 107 from 1 to 2 in the afternoon. In the days that we don't have exams on Thursday, it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. On those weeks when we have a Thursday exam, obviously I will be giving an exam on those Thursdays in another class. The exams, again, are each worth 15%. That's the midterms. The final is 25%, and the homeworks as a whole represent 15%. You can look at the calendar that I've just scrolled through, or you can go to the schedule under Course Business and look at those particular layout of when each homework is due. Again, if you're in the 9-10 section, please establish that proctor very soon so that I can then communicate the information needed to get you taking the exams that are scheduled at the end of each of the weeks. Good luck with the class, and I look forward to interacting with you and you learning the material.